Over the last couple of years, as the American economy struggles to recover from recession, many Canadians have taken the opportunity to buy up real estate south of the border. But before you reach for your pocketbook, you might want to listen to our next guest, David Altro. He is a U.S. attorney who has practiced cross-border law for over 30 years and has seen many Canadians struggle with issues they didn't bargain for. Thanks for joining us, David.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So let's set the scene here. What is the situation right now down in the States?
Well, the situation appears to be what we call the perfect storm. High Canadian loonie, low U.S. greenback, and all the U.S. real estate on sale. So Canadians are buying in unprecedented numbers.
Okay, give us some ideas of the deals that can be had.
Well, how would you like to buy with 50% off? That's what it is. So houses that you were buying in Arizona and California for $400,000 or $500,000 are half price now. So it's created a lot of buying, and it's interesting to know that Canada, or Canadians, are the largest buyers of resort vacation homes who are not Americans. So it's very big right now, and the Americans love the Canadians because we are helping their economy.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
So what are some of the problems then that we're running into?
Well, what is important is when a Canadian buys U.S. real estate, to understand what the issues are and how to own it to avoid problems when you pass away or when you sell. For example, you don't want to own it personally because when you pass away, you'll be subject to U.S. probate. California, Hawaii, these are very expensive places to process through a will and get the property transferred to your kids.
Okay, and so what about taxes?
Taxes are a big issue and important to structure your ownership in a cross-border irrevocable trust. We call that a CBIT, so that it owns your property, and when you pass away, there's no U.S. estate tax because the trust owns it, the trust doesn't die. This is an ethical, non-aggressive way of owning U.S. real estate, and as a byproduct, it gives you credit or protection. Somebody comes into your Phoenix home, they slip and fall. If they sue, they can't go after all of your assets. So, a bunch of issues, and we like to structure it so that Canadians can enjoy it and not have any problems.
Because if you don't have a trust set up, then what are some of the scenarios you might get yourself into?
Well, then when you pass away, your property will be subject to probate, which is a legal procedure in the county required in order to transfer to your kids or whoever you're leaving it to. Time consuming, freezes the estate, could cost 3-4% of the value. What else happens? U.S. estate tax, very expensive. Taxes are 35% of the U.S. property, and it's going up to 55% in January 1st, 2013, if the value of your worldwide estate is over $1 million.
Okay, and by worldwide estate, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's the U.S. government gives an exemption for Canadians. If you have U.S. property, but your worldwide estate is less than an exemption amount of $5 million now, which is dropping to $1 million. What's included in your worldwide? Everything. So clients always say, does that mean it includes my RSP? Yes. Does that include life insurance? Yes. So to calculate whether you're going to have a U.S. estate problem, you need to understand what the rules are.
Okay, this is all sounding a little confusing. I know I'm asking a lawyer, but is it really necessary to have a lawyer then if you're thinking about buying property down in the States?
You don't have to have a lawyer, but if you want to avoid the problems, it's good to get the advice of a cross-border tax and estate planning specialist, for sure, because you want it to go to your kids after you pass away with no hassle, no expense, no tax.
Okay, and it is still a good deal though, right?
It's a great deal. It's a great deal. It's an amazing deal. But you know what? It's not a panic. It's not as if the properties are shooting up tomorrow. So do your due diligence, take your time, negotiate your offers, lowball your offers if you want to, and it's not like Canada where you have to be polite. So, and get a good lawyer to review the contract, make sure you're covered.
All right, great. Well, if you have any more questions for David, you can contact him at his website, which is altrolaw.com, and you can also find his latest book, and maybe you want to give us a word about what's in this book.
Well, what we cover here, it's called Owning U.S. Real Estate the Canadian Way. It deals with all the issues that Canadians need to be aware of when they're buying U.S. real estate, selling U.S. real estate, capital gains tax, death tax, protecting your kids, all the important things.
All right. You can find it at altrolaw.com. And we're back with more Shaw TV right after this.